I felt compelled to do this. And it was kind of an unhealthy obsession in hindsight. And a lot of us go through this though. Got closer and closer and closer and closer to me. We were talking every day, and my true twin flame was revealed to me in that same moment. I see a lot of people who feel like people who are in union or who have been doing this work and are close to union are somehow special, and that you have to be lucky, special, or have a soul contract that tells you that you can be with your twin flame. And if you don't have that, then you're screwed. My name is Gabriel and I'm a twin flame coach. I want to tell you a little bit about my story because I think that it's helpful to know that the whole purpose of the twin flame journey is an ascension path to help you awaken from the old beliefs that you've had about yourself and to awaken to like the truth of your divinity. I grew up in the church and then I had a falling out with the church when I was in my late teens. And I spent 10 years of my life being atheist and angry about religion and spirituality and woo stuff. I was not into that at all until I had a false twin flame situation that turned my life upside down. All this stuff was suddenly bombarding me where I was having like this very intense relationship or situationship really of something that I've never had before at that point. I was bombarded by signs and synchronicities. I ran into this person all the time, even outside of places that I would have normally seen them, like work. It was such an intense experience for me that the only thing that I could do was to realize that it had to be something spiritual. And I spent thousands of dollars on psychics, and I would spend like most of my day calling or texting with psychics, just trying to find answers to what was going on in my life. It was such a need to know. I felt compelled to do this. And it was kind of an unhealthy obsession in hindsight. And a lot of us go through this though. Maybe not to the extreme that I did, but maybe you have a different extreme. I just went the psychics route. But that did lead me to hearing the term twin flame, and something just kept resonating with me that, like, this sounds like what that is. And then I found the teachings of union. And at first, I was a little hesitant because everybody else was saying that you couldn't be with your twin flame. And Jeff and Shalia and the teachings of union were saying, like, you can be with your twin flame, and here's how. I went in with it. I was like, okay, I'm going to get coaching, I'm going to start classes, and I'm going to be with my twin flame. And at first, I was very much like solely focused on being with my twin flame. I spent the obsession that I had with calling psychics turned into an obsession with inner work. And I do think that's one of the more healthy obsessions that you can have is like doing inner work. And I was doing it all the time. At the time, I was taking the bus to work. I switched jobs somewhere in between there, but I had a lot of time to just like do inner work constantly, pull cards, do inner work. The balance there was not super healthy. I was only after healing for my twin flame. And while I did see some success and I did see myself starting to feel better, I went from being paralyzed on the couch day in and day out to being able to be functional and doing better at my job and transcending that job and moving to another job, a better job. I started to manifest things in my life that were a better fit for me in my life. I've transcended my job several times over. I have an even better job now. I went from renting to owning my own home in a matter of months, and it was truly a miracle that transpired in all of that. And now I have my soul pet, Mocha, who is the perfect little Yorkie that I'd always dreamed of when I was younger. Because I started taking the bus, I could do more inner work. And then I started to have more opportunity in my life. These like subtle things at first I kind of overlooked because I was so blinded by like just wanting to be with my person. And eventually, the person that I had thought was my twin flame, I had all this push pull. I met up with that person like a couple times, and I thought these were like huge breakthroughs. And really, they were. But not in the way that I thought they were at the time. I had breakthroughs where like we'd meet up and it was like, oh wow, this is great. But I started to realize that it was really only a hookup, and that person wasn't really like changing as I was. And my understanding of twin flames then and even more deeply now is that your twin flame will heal as you heal. And for me, that false twin flame, like especially the last time that I saw that person, they were in the same place that I had last seen them. They were arguably kind of worse. The attraction was kind of gone. I was starting to see this person as like, what did I see in you? First, I kind of lied to myself because I was a little attached to that particular person. And I was like, well, maybe it's just an upset. And I just kept working. I just kept my head down, focused on working on. If you're ready for a shift in your union, going from thinking that someone else is special for having it to really believing and seeing and experiencing that you can have it too, click the link below, sign up for a free clarity call with me. I can help you not just come into harmonious union with your twin flame, but to have a beautiful, enriched life and really transform everything in your reality. And I finally just surrendered that person to God. I was like, all right, well, if it's my twin flame, I'll just heal and I'll be able to be with them. As I kept going and I kept going deeper into feeling better in myself, I discovered that I was a divine masculine, that I was actually a trans man. And this came over a period of time. As you do this work, you're going to learn more about yourself. Maybe you won't learn that you're trans. Maybe you'll just learn that you thought you liked one thing and you like another thing. Or maybe you're more outspoken. Maybe you have a dream to be an actor or be more outspoken than you thought you were, or vice versa. Maybe you thought you wanted to be on stage, but you actually want something a little more cozy. You learn so much about yourself on this journey. You really want to honor how much you learn about yourself on this journey. And so for me, I started to see patterns of like how I was always taking the masculine role in my relationships. Even if I was the girl in the relationship, I was always kind of taking that role. I also had been very like tomboyish since I was a child. And I always just wrote it off as like, I'm not like other girls. During this healing process, I even went deeper into exploring my femininity. I was like, I'm going to do more for myself and try to embrace myself here and accept myself here. And when I finally did that, it actually all crumbled away. It was like, oh, like this is not what makes me happy at all. At first, I was afraid to be trans because like the world is not super friendly towards trans people, especially right now. Sometimes I woke up in a sweat 3 or 4 months before I actually came and like accepted being a divine masculine. I woke up in a sweat, like, oh my God, I'm the DM. And I was like, no, 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 no. I just like talked myself out of it. It just kept kind of coming back in subtle ways. And this was like a year and a half into my journey. Then I woke up to being a masculine and I finally like surrendered to that. And when I claimed myself, I knew immediately that my false twin flame was not my twin flame. And my true twin flame was revealed to me in that same moment of like I knew this person as I was healing got closer and closer and closer and closer to me. We were talking every day. We were like really good friends. And it was just like, oh, yeah. And at first I was like, well, it could be this person, it could be this other person. But deep in my heart, I knew who it was. Long story short is that we came together, we were together for a while, we came into harmonious union, we fell out and we fell out of union. And all of that was very painful for me. It's taken me a really long time to not only talk about it, but to heal through everything that it showed me. And I think it was a very compassionate thing for me to experience now that I'm able to look back at it because my relationship was built on, and my journey at first was built on just wanting to be with that person, to fill the gap in my life. And I was distracting myself, numbing out to all these areas of my life where I needed to give myself more love, attention, and really claim myself as myself. Because I wasn't doing that, the relationship with my twin flame was very volatile. A lot of people do have challenges with their twin flame. That's normal to have upsets come up and have to heal it. And sometimes it can feel dramatic. But if you have the foundation of the inner work that you do and build up to, that's what the purpose of the journey is for, is to help you build that foundation for you and your twin flame. That period of separation that you have before you come into union is often to prepare you to be able to handle your twin flame. And if you just barrel through and try to control to get your twin flame, you might manifest them, but you aren't going to have the foundation to keep them. And that was my situation, is because I still had a lot of toxic patterns of myself where I was people pleasing and I didn't love myself properly. I wasn't taking care of myself properly. I was trying to fill the void within myself with my twin flame. And that resulted in a very toxic, not healthy relationship because your twin flame magnifies everything that's out of alignment with love within you. You're going to have to go back in the same way that I did and do it again. The process since I fell out of union has been healing all these places that my twin flame showed me. It was a gift to actually receive all of that because I didn't see it at the time. I was definitely like angry and numbed out and upset for many years. During that time, like I've been through waves of anger and upset and not liking myself, and I've had to heal through those things in order to come back towards my union. If you're going through this in your own union, I can honestly say keep going. 2 or 3 years ago, I kept going on my journey, but there was definitely an energetic drop of I felt discouraged and I felt like this is impossible. What's the point of continuing? Maybe I shot my shot and this is it and I'm not going to be able to recover from it. That's all the truth. As I continued on this journey, as I've continued healing all these things that have been brought up for me. And especially now, I've been able to really access it. It was like I took some time to lick my wounds. Now I can actually look at it. And I had to build the foundation of the inner work. Instead of doing the inner work to be with that person, that whole situation kind of reset me to like, oh, I don't want to do the inner work just to have the results of this person. I want to do the inner work so that I feel good within myself. And that's what I would encourage anyone who's on this journey to do because you're not going to get the results that you want by just trying to get that person. God has so much more for you than just your person. And I know that sounds crazy because it's like, oh, just having my twin flame is like so much. And it is. It can be so wonderful. And I know that it can be wonderful because God showed me that. My relationship with my twin flame wasn't all bad. There was really good, juicy moments. And then there was like the stuff that comes up when you have to heal. I saw the glimpses of it. I felt the potential there. I know that that love is still in my heart. What I have to do is my work to have a good relationship with myself. And that has been a process, and that's everyone's process. It's not to highlight the challenges and struggles, it's just to say that if you are having these challenges and struggles, if you're having a toxic relationship with your twin flame, if you're having challenges that seem insurmountable, that it's not insurmountable. You can be with your twin flame and you can have so much more. You can come into a relationship with yourself. That's where this work can really shine and really help you. Is when you put yourself first, you prioritize you, you can actually transcend anything. And I keep myself and others motivated through that lens because I understand that this journey is not just about the end result, not just about being with your twin flame, but it truly is a walk with God back home to who you truly are. And you get so many more gifts along the way. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.